Hello everyone, welcome back to online lecture series on fluid mechanics and hydraulic machines. We are continuing our topic of dynamics of fluid flow. So here we will do a quick revision of our previous topic, that is we previously studied about equations of motion that is based on Newton's second law of motion, that is Fx is equal to m into Ax. Here Fx, that is the force in x direction, consists of various forces, as you can see here: pressure force, gravitational force, viscous force, force due to turbulence, force due to compressibility. So here Fx is summation of all these forces, and now neglecting the force due to compressibility Fc, then we are left with four forces, and this gives us Reynolds equation of motion. Now we are going to neglect the force due to turbulence Ftx, then we are left with three forces, that is gravitational, pressure and viscous. So this is the Navier-Stokes equation, and next we are neglecting the viscous force, then we are getting Euler's equation. Next we studied about the Euler's equation of motion. So here we took a cylinder having a cross-sectional area dA and a length of ds, and as you can see here, there are pressure forces present and weight forces present, that is gravitational force. Here we obtained the acceleration, and here we have resolved these forces and finally obtained the Euler's equation of motion, that is given by dp by rho plus g dz plus v dv equal to 0. Now the next is Bernoulli's equation from Euler's equation, and we have integrated the Bernoulli's equation and obtained this equation, that is p by rho g plus v square by 2g plus z is equal to constant. Here p by rho g is pressure head, v square upon 2g is kinetic head, and z is the potential head. For real fluids, the Bernoulli's equation is modified with addition of HL, that is loss of energy between points 1 and 2. The next is practical applications of Bernoulli's equation. So here we have three applications: Venturi meter, orifice meter and pitot tube. First we studied about Venturi meter, and here in our previous lecture we have studied up to the left portion of this screen. So we have proved up to h is equal to v2 square upon 2g minus v1 square upon 2g. And here what we have done is, from here we are having the new content of today's lecture. So here first we have applied the Bernoulli's equation between section 1 and 2. So here we are applying Bernoulli continuity equation between section 1 and 2. So it is a1 v1 So here first we have applied the continuity equation a1 v1 is equal to a2 v2. So based on this we have obtained the value of v1, which is given by a2 v2 upon a1, a2 v2 upon a1, and here we have reached to equation v2 square by 2g minus v1 square by 2g. So here instead of v1 we have put this formula a2 v2 upon a1 whole square, and then we have taken v2 square upon 2g common, and in the bracket we are finding 1 minus a2 square upon a1 square. So upon simplification we have made V2 as a subject in this equation, as you can see, and it is equal to A1 divided by square root of A1 square minus A2 square into square root of 2GH. So this is the value of V2, and based on this value of V2 we can obtain the value of Q, that is equal to A2 V2. And finally here instead of V2 we have put this whole equation, and we obtained the value of Q in form of area and height. And in reality, see, the equation that we obtained over here, this equation is based on the ideal Bernoulli's equation, and for real fluids there are some losses that should be considered. That is, for that purpose we have introduced this factor CD, that is known as coefficient of discharge. Now we are beginning our next topic. So this is the way we can obtain the volume flow rate through a venturimeter. Now our next topic is orifice meter. So orifice meter is also having a same application of measuring the fluid flow rate through a cylinder using Bernoulli's equation. So here we are having this, let us consider this to be a circular pipe through which fluid is flowing, and here we are having sharp edged circular flat plate known as orifice meter, and this is concentric with our main pipe. You can see the same with this red color, and here because of this obstruction we are providing, the fluid flow changes. So this is the way the fluid flow is present. So the cross sectional area for fluid flow keeps on reducing. It reduces further beyond this orifice meter, it reaches the minimum area value, and then it expands. So here this area where the fluid flow area is minimum is known as vena contracta. It is known as vena contracta. Okay, so this is known as vena contracta, the minimum area. It should be noted here that we are dealing with three different areas. First is A1, as you can see here, that it is the cross sectional area of main pipe, that is the default pipe. A0 is the area of orifice meter, and A2 is the area of vena contracta. So here, based on this, we are having coefficient of contraction defined as Cc is equal to A2 upon A0, where here A2 is the area of vena contracta, and here we are having A0 as area of orifice meter, and here A2 is equal to Cc into A0. Based on this, so now here the another thing that we need to consider, that we are having two different areas, two sections, section 1 and section 2 here. And here this section is taken at 1.5 to 2 times of the pipe diameter. Just wait. Okay, so section 1 is taken at 1.5 to 2 times of the pipe diameter, and section 2 is taken at 0.5 times of 0.5 times of the orifice diameter, that is section 2 over here, and these two sections are connected with a differential manometer as shown in this figure, and this is the direction of fluid flow from left to right. And now we are going to derive the equation for fluid flow rate. So first we have applied the Bernoulli's equation here. As you can see, P1 by rho g plus V1 square by 2g plus Z1 is equal to P2 by rho g plus V2 square by 2g plus Z2. And here, upon further simplification, we obtain this term, that is P1 by rho g plus Z1 minus P2 by rho g plus Z2 is equal to V2 square by 2g minus V1 square by 2g. And this term on the left hand side is known as differential head, and it is equal to V2 square minus V1 square upon 2g. So finally what we are getting is V2 square is equal to 2gh plus V1 square. So V2 is equal to square root of 2gh plus V1 square. Now here you can pause this video and note down this terms. Now the next is continuity equation, that is also we are already known. A1 V1 is equal to A2 V2. So making V1 as a subject in this equation, we can obtain A2 V2 upon A1. Now if you recall, in our previous slide we are having this term that we are going to utilize, that is A2 is equal to Cc into A0. So instead of A2 we have put Cc into A0, and the remaining terms are as it is, that is V2 divided by A1. So in total we are getting the value of V1 as Cc into A0 into V2 divided by A1. Now if you see both this equation, that is the first equation over here is V2 is equal to square root of 2gh plus V1 square, and here we are having value of V1. So what we are going to do is putting this value, that is the second value of V1, into our main equation. That is done over here. As you can see that V2 is equal to square root of 2gh plus Cc square plus A0 square V2 square upon A1 square. So V2 square is equal to 2gh plus Cc square A0 square V2 square upon A1 square, and here on the left hand side we are having V2 square, and on the right hand side in the second term we are having this, that is Cc square A0 square V2 square upon A1 square. So once we take V2 square common, then we are having into the bracket this term, and we can make V2 as a subject in this equation and obtain this value of V2. So finally we have obtained the value of V2, that is the velocity at vena contracta section. So as we have already obtained the value of V2, our next task is to obtain the value of Q. So Q is equal to A2 V2. So based on that we have obtained the value of Q. Now you need to be very careful here regarding this equation. That is Q is equal to CD A1 A0 square root of 2gh divided by A1 square root of A1 square minus A0 square. So this is actually taken from this part. So we have utilized the equation of Venturi meter in orifice meter. So if you note down this equation, Q is equal to CD A1 A2 into square root of 2GH divided by A1 square minus A2 square. If you note down this right now and see this equation again, then both are same except the areas. So here previously it was having A1 A2, and here in case of orifice meter we are having A1 A0. So that's it. So this is the difference. So we have already obtained this equation of Q written in black box, and we have utilized this equation from Venturi meter written in the red box. So in this equation we have taken this A1, as you can see here, this A1 into denominator, that is 1 minus A0 upon A1 whole square. And now what we have done is, you need to focus on these two arrows, that first we have taken this black box equation and this second red box equation, and we have equated them. That is over here, Cc into A0 square root of 2gh divided by square root of 1 minus A0 upon A1 whole square. Cc square is equal to Cd A0 square root of 2gh divided by 1 square root of 1 minus A0 upon A1 square. So once we equate them, there are few terms which are being cancelled, A0 and square root of 2gh. So we have obtained the value of Cc here, that is Cc is equal to Cd. Cc is equal to Cd square root of 1 minus A0 upon A1 whole square, Cc square divided by square root of 1 minus A0 upon A1 whole square. Okay, so here we have obtained the value of Cc, and from there onwards we have continued this equation over here. The same equation is written here, as you can see, and we have put the value of Cc, which is written over here, is equal to Cd into square root of this whole square root. So here once we put the value of Cc, this term will get cancelled. See, what I would suggest you to pause this video and note down this by yourself, as you can directly get this by yourself. Okay, so here we will be able to cancel this part, and we are only left with few terms which are written over here, that is Cd, that is this, into A0 square root of 2gh divided by 1 minus square root of 1 minus A0 square upon A1 square. And then finally we are getting the value of Q is equal to Cd into A0 A1 square root of 2gh divided by square root of A1 square minus A0 square. So this is the final equation that we will get. Now our next topic is pitot tube, in which this is unlike previous two theories, which were two devices which were used for measuring the fluid flow rate. Here pitot tube is used for measurement of velocity. So we will continue this topic on our virtual board. So here we are having pitot tube in which the fundamental is that this is the main pipe through which the fluid is flowing from left to right at a velocity v, and here we have provided a pipe with a bend of 90 degree. So we are going to focus 2 points. Point 1 which is in the main pipeline, bigger pipeline, and point number 2 is inside this small pipeline with bend. So what is going to happen here, that once this fluid enters into this small pipe, the velocity becomes 0, and here as velocity becomes 0, there is a conversion of kinetic energy into the pressure energy. There is a conversion of kinetic energy into the pressure energy, as you can see. And there are few terms which we need to again see, that this height is h, and here also there is a flow of fluid, but according to the velocity which is there, the fluid will rise up to certain height, in accordance with the velocity which was there. So this is the height h. Okay, so now what we are going to do is to apply the Bernoulli's equation again, as all the terms are already known and similar to our previous theory, so we are not going to spend time into nomenclature. So let's apply the Bernoulli's equation at point 1 and point 2. T1 upon rho g plus V1 square g plus Z1 is equal to T2 upon P2 upon rho g plus V2 square upon 2g plus Z2. Here see, the height is same, so if we write down over here, then we are having Z1 is equal to Z2. Apart from that, what we are having is V2 is equal to 0. And one more thing, that here if you see P1 upon rho g, then it is equal to the height h, and P2 upon rho g is equal to h plus h. Now why it is like this? Because here the velocity is 0 and it is fully converted into the pressure energy, that is total height. So we can substitute everything. So here H plus V1 square upon 2G. Z1 and Z2 are already cancelled. Then here we are having H plus H plus 0. So this will get cancelled here, and we will be left with V1 square is equal to 2GH. So V1 is equal to square root of 2GH. And to consider the losses which are present here we will introduce one factor. V1 is equal to CV into square root of 2GH, where CV is equal to coefficient of Pitot tube. So this is the final equation we are having for Pitot tube. So let's copy this work into our main slide. So here we are ending today's lecture, and we will quickly revise the topics that we have done today. Today we started with revision of Venturi meter, and here after applying continuity equation we obtained the value of V1 and substituted it in our previous lecture's equation, and finally we obtained the value of V2 and then obtained the value of flow rate cube, which is equal to A1A2 into square root of 2GH divided by A1 square minus square root of A1 square minus A2 square. To consider the losses, we introduced a factor CD here, that is coefficient of discharge. The next is orifice meter, which is also used for measurement of fluid flow. Here we are having this circular pipe concentric to our main pipe having a sharp edges. So here we are having a vena contracta and two sections are taken connected with a differential manometer, and then we obtained the value of V2 in this way, and then we obtained the value of Q. We utilized the equation from Venturi meter to obtain this coefficient of contraction, and further substitution of this gives us the final value of Q. The next we study today is Pitot tube. Here the fundamental is that when velocity becomes zero, kinetic energy is converted into pressure energy. So we again applied the Bernoulli's equation, and finally we obtained the value of V1 is equal to CV square root of CV into square root of 2GH. So this is the end of today's lecture. Thank you for watching this video.